Welcome to Inside the College. I'm Dr. Maggie McMenamin, president of Union County College. We have a very special episode of Inside the College today. Our guest is the new chair of the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholder Bette Jane Kowalski. Welcome, Freeholder Kowalski.
Thank you very much, President McMenamin. I'm happy to be here. It may be 17 degrees outside, but it's warm and energized inside Union County College.
Thank you very much. Many of you know Freeholder Kowalski, better known as BJ Kowalski, and she's been a member of the Freeholder Board for quite a while now. But before we talk about her role as a freeholder and her new initiatives as the new chair of the Freeholder Board, we want to get to know Freeholder Kowalski a little bit better. So tell us about yourself. Where are you from? Where were you born?
Well, born in Newark, raised in Cranford. I went through Cranford Public Schools, Cranford High School. And from Cranford High School, I went off to college and traveled a bit.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Hunter College in New York, and then for my BA in History and English, and then did graduate school at NYU for journalism. So I know a little bit of the PR side, but now I'm on the other side of the cameras.
Oh, wonderful. Now I know why my mother liked you so much. She was an English major also. So when you were a high school student right here in Cranford, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I don't think I knew early what I wanted to do, but I knew that I wanted to be involved in how things are shaped in our environment. And so when I guess I thought I wanted to be a writer at some point, and hence went into journalism and of course wrote for our college newspapers and various publications.
At NYU and at Hunter?
Yeah, and then worked as an editor for quite a few years in New York, then moved back to Cranford.
When did you come back to Cranford?
95.
In 1995.
Yeah.
So is that around when you started to get into public service?
Maybe it took a year or two to settle in. My parents had been living in Cranford the whole time, and that was part of the incentive for moving back here, to be closer to them while they were getting on in years a bit. And
people in our age group, that's a big issue, and I know it's a big issue around the county. Yeah. So many of us with aging parents who need help.
Right, and it was, I really feel it was a gift that I was able to spend those years with my parents while they were still very active and with it and able to do things. I went to many events with my mom and my dad, and then of course things came up with the Democratic Party. I started to support Democratic candidates here in Cranford, and when there was an opening for a freeholder, my name appeared on somebody's list, and I had the opportunity to interview with the then County Democratic Chair, the very famous Charlotte DeFilippo.
I call her the legendary Charlotte DeFilippo.
Yes.
She was a force to be reckoned with in her time.
She certainly was. She certainly was. I think many people don't even realize, we're not realizing until now, how very brilliant she was about keeping on top of the big picture of what was happening, not just in government, but for people on the ground. She really was dedicated to making life better for us, and I learned from her that what we do really is all about service, and I'm sure you feel the way yourself with the way you run the college.
I do. I'm wondering, and I'm going to digress a little bit now, but what would Charlotte say about what they're calling right now this morning on CNN, the Year of the Woman? And certainly people are saying that in Union County with the composition of the Freeholder Board.
Well, don't you think Charlotte would probably say, well, why isn't every year the Year of the Woman? Women are more than 50% of the population, and we're coming into our own.
Well, it should be an interesting year, that's for sure.
I think so.
So how long have you been a freeholder?
14 years.
So that first time your name showed up on a list, you won the election?
Yes. Well, I filled an unexpired term.
Okay.
I won the internal party election first, and then that year I ran in the general election and won. Yes.
Well, I know this is not your first rodeo, that you've been chair of the Freeholders before. Is that right?
Yes.
So tell us about some of your initiatives. It's early in the year, and I know you're continuing with a previous initiative, Union County Means Business. That seems to have legs beyond a single chairmanship. But what are the new things you'll be focusing on?
Okay. Actually, what I should mention, since we were talking about Year of the Woman, we are, for the first time, a majority of women on the Union County Freeholder Board. And I am just so pleased and proud to have such wonderful women to serve with me. We have Freeholder Rebecca Williams from Plainfield. We have Freeholder Angela Garrettson from Hillside. We have Freeholder Sunshine Andrea Staten from Roselle. And we have me, and we have Kim Palmieri Mudet from Westfield. So
now, if I'm not mistaken, that's a majority of the Freeholder Board. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. We're still finding the best ways of communicating with our constituents and with each other. But I think we've gotten off to a good start.
I know you're a supporter of the arts.
Right.
And libraries, that they are two initiatives that you're really focusing the county on that maybe haven't come up or risen to the top in the past.
Well, we have the HART grants, the History, Education, Art Reaching Thousands, which
that's
we've
what
been
HART
doing
stands for.
For many years.
History, Education, Arts
Reaching Thousands.
Reaching Thousands.
Yeah.
Good.
That is a grant which we were ahead of the game in the state for providing an arts grant that is not just for organizations but also individual artists, and that has been used to such wonderful, successful ways.
How do people access it? How do artists access
They apply
that?
to our Cultural and Heritage Affairs office. That's an application they fill out, they submit it, and I think the application is due late spring, and then the decision is made over the summer, and then they get the funding to be able to do, whether it's a visual arts program, music, some kind of a performance, a play. Of course, you know about the arts here from not only from the courses that you provide here at Union County College, but you very graciously host our Teen Arts Festival every March.
It's inspiring. It's inspiring, and I think we were both inspired by President Kennedy's focus on the arts and what he talked about, how critical it was for our democracy, for our society, to not lose sight of the importance of the arts as we build our culture and our civilization. So it's admirable. How about libraries? What kind of library grants are going on or initiatives?
We've had a library grant for a few years, started actually with Freeholder Mirabella, who's our vice chairman this year. And so we are increasing that a little bit. Our librarians are just so great about figuring out how to apply for the grants and how to use the grants. They don't do it so much on an individual basis. They meet and they decide together what all the libraries want to do, what kinds of projects, generally they're children's projects, and then they apply, and we don't have to do that much work because they figured
librarians
most of it out.
are awesome.
Yes,
they're awesome. They are.
They provide such great things for
now,
the community.
Beyond the arts and libraries and your women's initiatives, I know you have some others that revolve around something very important to everyone, certainly in Cranford, but all along that Raritan Valley line certainly is just a transportation initiative with a rideshare pilot. Can you tell us about that?
The rideshare pilot is a program where we are getting a ride for commuters from their homes to the train station. We know, of course, that many people all across the county take the Raritan Valley line, so there's only limited parking space, of course, so it makes sense when we have so much happening in our towns, to have a ride to the train station so that people can get there without having to find a place for parking and paying that expensive parking. And
or the ticket for parking in the wrong place, or
right.
the tow.
Yeah. So we'll be starting that this year. As we said, it's a pilot program, and we hope that it will be very successful, and then we will move on to expand it to other towns throughout the county.
We recently signed an agreement with the police academy. So I know first responders are one of your priorities as well. And you've asked that we investigate how we can better serve our fire academy graduates as well. Tell me more about your first responder emphasis.
Well, we really appreciate the fact that you, with Union County College, have agreed to provide training for our police academy graduates, so that once they join the police academy, then they can get an associate degree. Because, of course, the better trained our first responders, our police and firefighters are, the better they'll be at serving all of us. So we, as you know, you signed with our former chair, Sergio Granados, the agreement last year for training police academy graduates, and we are now looking into what we can do for our firefighters. First responders, you know, we live in a changing world, and the technology changes faster than I can keep up with it.
Certainly.
So to provide training for police and firefighters, it's a win-win for everybody.
It is, it is. Now, last thing I want to address, I know we have a couple other guests coming on, but I want to talk green.
Okay.
Union County Green is an initiative. It seems to be part of the backbone of the Freeholder initiatives. Everybody wants to talk about what are we doing for the environment, what are we doing for green space. Tell us more about Union County Green and what we're doing for the environment and parks.
Right, and parks, well, here we are in Cranford, in the center of the county and also the center of the Union County Park system. So we have Nomahegan Park right across the street, and Lenape Park in the other direction. We are doing some improvements in several parks. We're putting in turf fields in Scotch Plains and Ponderosa Park. Ponderosa is a park that we opened just a few years ago and has gotten so much use from the community, and always in demand. And with the many sports programs, of course, turf fields are a big help. Because,
24 hours a day, they want to play. Right. They do.
Yeah, so we have turf fields. Then in the recycling area, we're doing a program where we have the recycling for certain kinds of styrofoam. We'll be working with the recycling and conservation centers within the towns and labeling and getting information out about that so people know about that. We're also working on a better recycling display for Trailside Nature Center.
Oh, yeah, so they don't throw their trash in the woods. All right, I understand.
And also education for recycling for our seniors. You know, our seniors are often the people who are most conscientious about recycling because they're thinking about how they want to leave a better world for the next generation.
For their grandchildren.
Exactly. Yes, so we're reaching out to seniors with special recycling initiatives.
I always said my mother recycled before anybody did. She was focused on that. Thank you for being my guest.
Thank you. We're very proud to work with you.
Great. We'll be right back after these messages.
My name is Cheryl Narbonne. My major is engineering and I'm planning to graduate spring 2019. Union County College, transforming our community one student at a time.
Welcome back to Inside the College. I'm Dr. Maggie McMenamin, president of Union County College. My next guest on the show today are two of our scholar athletes, Lauren Buchanan from Union and Maya Lawler from Cranford. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
We're thrilled to have you here.
Jinx.
Little bit of an echo. It's great to have you on the show. So we're going to talk about all kinds of things, but before we talk about soccer, which is, I know, one of your favorite subjects, we want to learn a little bit more about both of you. So Maya, let's start with you.
Okay.
When did you start here at Union County College?
Last fall was my first semester here.
Okay, and what was your major?
Nursing. Well,
Nursing.
Liberal studies, technically.
Liberal
yes.
studies to get into nursing.
Yes.
Wonderful. And when do you think when will you graduate from the college?
This May, actually.
You're going to graduate with your associate's degree in?
Liberal studies.
And then start the nursing component of your education.
Yes.
So we have 3 different nursing programs. One with Trinitas, one's a practical nursing program, and one is with the Muhlenberg School of Nursing in Plainfield. Which of those are the nursing programs you'll be going into in the fall?
Muhlenberg.
In the Muhlenberg program.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, how did you pick nursing as a major?
Well, my mom's a nurse, so kind of runs in my family. And just growing up, I watched her and I saw how much she enjoyed it. And believe it or not, I actually used to want to be a teacher really bad. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of shifted. Once I got into high school, I started taking anatomy classes and science classes, and it kind of just built up my interest.
And what high school did you go to?
Cranford High School.
Cranford High School, fantastic. All right, now Lauren, you're from Union, New Jersey. Did you go to Union High School?
Yeah, I went to Eaton High School.
Okay, so tell us about your major.
Currently, I'm an education major, but I'm looking to, when I transfer, be an adolescence education major with my specialty in history. But originally going into college, I didn't want to be a teacher.
What did you want to be initially?
I want to be a cardiologist.
A cardiologist.
Yeah, it's a 180, but I changed.
So how did you switch from cardiology to education?
It was about my junior year of high school. I was just thinking to myself, for my future, I'll wake up every day enjoying being a teacher and being able to help students and teach them new concepts instead of being a cardiologist. I just
What, you help people save their lives? If I have a heart attack, I want a cardiologist. That's good work.
I also thought of how much schooling there was.
Okay.
And it kind of
Yeah, it's
turned
a
me
lot of
off.
schooling.
It's 8 years of schooling just to become a cardiologist.
So when will you graduate?
This May as well.
May of 2019. And when you graduate in May, what schools are you looking at?
Currently I'm looking at Dominican College in New York, but I'm also looking at Caldwell, Seton Hall, and then Del Valle in Pennsylvania.
Okay, Delaware Valley University. Yeah, Del Valle University. Now that's an agricultural school. You ever been there?
No, I'm going on a visit soon.
Are you?
I believe February 9th, yeah.
Oh, it's a nice school. I like it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
excited.
Del Valle. Terrific. Now we've gotten both of, we know who you are and what your background is. Who's your favorite teacher, Lauren?
Here?
Yeah, here.
Well,
Come on, give a shout out.
Professor Keating, but I don't believe she's here anymore. She was
Okay.
my human biology professor.
Okay, your
my first year.
biology professor.
Yeah.
Give me another one.
Professor Brophy, my math.
Your math teacher. All right, so science and math, both of them.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And Maya, who's your favorite teacher?
Oh, I have so many.
All right, name good.
I'll just shout all of them out.
They all want to hear their names.
Professor Meeks, English.
Okay, Dr. Meeks is
Love
an
her.
English professor.
My other English professor, Professor Garcia. Really
Roberto
liked her.
Garcia.
My French professor, Professor Vieira. I like her a lot.
Fantastic.
And Dr. Salisbury.
And he's
definitely.
in biology.
Yeah, anatomy.
Wonderful. Anatomy. All right, good. Both of you have teachers that you love here. Now, beyond just being great students, and I know you're both scholars with terrific grades and grade point averages higher than mine, tell us about soccer. I know that you're both members of the Union County College women's soccer team, and I'll tell our audience that that women's soccer team placed 3rd in the nation in the fall of 2018. So Maya, let's start with you. What position did you play in soccer?
I kind of alternate sometimes between center back and midfield, but this season I was more pushed up in midfield.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you like about soccer? Tell us about it. Tell me.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, I've been playing since I was 4 years old. So it's kind of just been a really big part of my life, all my life, running around. I like that it's a really technical game, compared to a lot of other sports, it's just sprinting and running, sprinting, running.
So how is soccer technical? I'm not a
you
soccer
can-
player, so tell me.
You can kind of make it your own pace as long as you have possession of it, if that makes sense. Like, you can kind of just swing the ball around. Like, there's no rush. Like, you can kind of really work the ball around to make the play work, and you can run around each other and stuff, as opposed to like football or something where you just run, get hit, get up, start a new play, run. Like
Right.
soccer, you can really go at your own pace.
And there's no shot clock like in basketball where they
Yeah.
have to shoot within 24 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think it's just a very, like, yeah, technical, I would say, is like one of the best terms for it. Like, you can
So
really
you were a
just piece
center
together.
back, you said. What is that position? What do you do when you're a center back? Are you a defender or are you an offensive player? What do you do?
It's defense. It's center defense. So when we played, we had two of them. So it's us two center backs and then the wing defense. And the center back's job is really to be the last line of defense, so that if the ball just keeps moving, gets past the two wing defense, then we're already dropped back to recover for them.
Okay. Critical
So-
part, really the last stand in defense before the ball gets to your goalie.
Yeah.
That's me.
And the goalie is Lauren Buchanan. So
Yeah.
Lauren, tell us, I already, spoiler alert, she's the goalie. Tell us about what it's like to be a goalie.
Well, at first I originally wasn't a goalie, so it's definitely, I used to play the field, and then when I got moved into goalie,
Did you play offense or defense?
I was a striker.
And what's a striker?
A forward, the
I
offense.
apologize. All my soccer fans out there, I'm sorry.
But that was when I was younger, and about like when I turned 6 or 7, I got moved into goalie, and I really didn't like it at first because you couldn't score. But then I realized you were a key element to your team because you were the person that they depended on when someone was taking a shot or like they had a break, like they would get through the defensive line, and it was like one-on-ones. And definitely my perspective on goalie has changed
In what way?
because I've never played at such a high competitive level as collegiate soccer, and it's just it's more intense because at travel or high school level it wasn't as serious, but when I got to here at Union County College, it was such a different experience. They depended on you even more, and I really enjoyed that because it was fun to finally be able to show yeah, I'm in goalie,
And it matters.
yeah.
I know this year, with this record-setting year for women's soccer at Union County College, that a big part of the team's success was Lauren's performance in goal and your work as a middle back. Is that what it is?
Center back.
Center back,
Slash
as a
midfield.
center back, because very few teams scored against us. Isn't that right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I believe our first game we lost 5-2, and then we went on, I believe, a 10-game winning streak of just we shut out every team. But I mean,
Wow.
my defense did a lot of that because they worked very
You
hard.
had a
those
boring
games.
year, and Maya was the one doing all the work.
My defense helped a lot this year. They definitely held it down in the defensive line, and then I believe Brookdale and Delta are the only other schools that got the ball in the back of the net. But
Good.
Yeah.
Terrific.
It's a
So
very
3
impressive
teams
year.
scored on you all year.
Yeah.
yes,
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very, very impressive.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're both received a lot of awards. All-American Award, Maya, correct?
Yes.
All-American. Lauren, Academic All-American?
yes.
Is that right? So we're expecting great things from you off the field in the future. We all know that you're not going to be playing soccer forever. It's unlikely. I'm not saying impossible, but unlikely you're going pro. So we're very impressed that you understand how important academics is to you.
We're students first. That's what
Always.
everyone instilled in us, that we're student athletes. So we take it very seriously when it comes to the classroom and our schoolwork and our ethic.
Do you guys study?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
a lot.
Especially with the classes.
Tell
and
us
taking.
about the team. Is there a culture on the team for studying and focusing on academics? Is that something that you guys talk to each other about?
We have a main focus on that because our coach Angie, she does not play when it comes to grades, so we make sure we reiterate her like rules and morals that you don't fool around in class. We sit in the front of the classroom and we just make sure we do our ALC hours and get it
What's
done.
ALC?
Academic Learning Center.
And what's in the Academic Learning Center?
Free tutoring.
Free
Free
tutoring.
tutoring.
And materials.
Yes.
Good.
I enjoy it there. It's nice.
Good. Good. Wonderful. All right. 10 years from now, Maya, where will you be 10 years from now? What's your fantasy? What you're going to be doing 10 years from now?
I would love to be working in a giant hospital in California.
Sounds good. Good.
Yeah.
Giant hospital in which part of nursing? What do you want to do?
I'm debating between two. I'm leaning more towards trauma and ER. I just think, not to put it the wrong way, like the action of it,
very
I guess.
exciting.
Like, I'm always on my feet, and like that's the kind of person I am. Like I don't like sitting in one place, like just waiting around.
Trauma, emergency services,
Or
California,
psychiatric.
Northern California, or psychiatric?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's interesting.
It is interesting, for sure. That's
Yeah.
something you can say. So Northern California or Southern California?
Southern.
Southern. So you
Yeah,
want to go
warmer
Southern
weather.
warmer weather. I understand. It's about 14 degrees out right now, so we all understand why you want to be in Southern California.
Yeah.
Lauren, 10 years from now.
10 years
Tell
from
me,
now?
describe Lauren Buchanan 10 years from now.
Definitely a teacher, teaching American history in high school, and I know I want to work towards my doctorate in American history or education. I don't know which one, but I also hope that I'm working towards becoming a professor. That's something that I've wanted to do, was become a professor and teach at the college level. So hopefully I'm working towards that in 10 years.
Wonderful. I see you both. And where? What part of the country? Are we losing you to California too, or do you stay at Jersey Girl?
I don't know. Wherever the wind takes me.
Okay.
If it takes me to Oklahoma, I'll go. I
All right.
don't really.
Maya may be calling you. You never know. She may be in an adult league, in a hospital league in Southern California that needs a goalie. So you never know where it's going to go. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being Union County College student athletes. We're very proud of what you've both done in the classroom and on the field. You're role models to students here at Union County College, but also to student athletes across high schools, in every high school in Union County. You've demonstrated that you could be a great athlete and also a great student with terrific dreams and aspirations. Very impressive.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, my name is Ashley Jimenez. I'm in School of Nursing and I'll be graduating in 2020. Union County College, transforming our community one student at a time.
Welcome back to Inside the College. I'm Dr. Maggie McMenamin, president of Union County College. We've had 3 special guests on our show today. The first was the chair of the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders, Bette Kowalski, talking about her many initiatives this year as chair. My most recent 2 guests have been 2 scholar athletes on our women's soccer team, academic All-American Lauren Buchanan, an education major from Union, and All-American center back Maya Lawler from Cranford, a nursing major. We hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we look forward to seeing you next month on Inside the College.